the machine. That one took a while, probably pretty complicated numbers that the machine / Bohnny had to run there. I'm going to hand it on over to Alien Corey for round number 6. Take it away, you two.
I think he may have blue screened, Corey.
I think he may have.
Can someone reboot him? Just give him a kick or something?
Well, you might be right, but first calculate it. Calculate it. No, you're right. You're right.
Oh, goodness me. Yes, indeed. This is the RataBlade combo that me and Corey are going to...
We'll be doing some calculating. I'll tell you that. We're going to need to.
Yeah. This is going to be fun, though. Let's see. Let's see if Rei can pull this off. They are, of course, known for these wacky combos. Jeskai Mutate, as we saw not too long ago, actually.
One of my favorite decks.
Yeah,
really
up against one of the big bads of the weekend in Grixis Midrange. You know, typical thing you'd expect to see from the shell. Playing a couple one-of-fun-ofs with the Blade Coil Serpent and the Razor Lash Transmogrant. It's just, you know, a way to benefit from playing these colors and punish everyone else for playing such greedy mana bases. But let's jump in here to game number 1 and check out Charalampos Kikidis up against Rei Zhang.
Yeah, and Kara's a very, very scary opponent. If you ever played against him online, Mogged, the very popular Magic Online name, who I've copied many a deck list from in my day, I'll tell you that.
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Yep.
So I'm sure he'd be happy to see that indeed as we get things underway. Triumph apiece for both players, as well as the Battlefield Forge. Down on the board, land go. So nothing yet. No Fables to speak of, but we do see a couple in hand and likely to be pitching up next turn.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do see Karas has Spell Pierce as one of the cards that is in the main deck. You don't see a lot of those, but it is a one-of in the deck. And with an open decklist tournament, it does make players kind of respect that if you have it. And especially in this game, if it were to nab a Fable of Mirror Breaker, for instance, it's going to be very, very strong.
Yeah. It's always feels bad when your powerful card gets countered, but let's see if we're going to see it go for here. Nope, it's just going to be the good old Blood Tithe Harvester. In response, will we see Rei counter this? Yeah, we will. Make disappear from Rei Zhang. So bye-bye Blood Tithe. And in response, no thank you. The Spell Pierce you mentioned.
Got a nice target here.
To resolve, yeah.
Yep, absolutely. And I mean, that would have been a little bit better to hit a Fable the Mirror Breaker, but Rei could have just jammed this powerful dragon, and then you wouldn't have been able to cast Spell Pierce anyways. So really smart hit there from Karas.
Yep. And we have at Sushi, 1 dragon accounted for. Just need out the Dawn Sky and a sword for them to fight with. And, you know, RataBlade, you know, kind of important to this combo.
Exactly. Very easy combo that Bohnny was saying at the desk.
Very easy, so simple.
It's so easy. We can all follow along with it. And, yeah, it should be completely fine. Now, it's a really powerful deck. Rei ended up qualifying via the U.S. DreamHack tournament, and did quite well with that. And, you know, there was a lot of people reading their deck and had, not a big clue of what's going on with it. And there's some value to that. This is our only player playing this deck in the tournament, and it just looks incredible.
Yep, some big brain plays, or some big brain decks, I should say, from Rei Zhang, tested with Sanctum of All. And is doing excellently for themselves here, as we see just at Sushi on the board up against a Fable the Mirror Breaker, the little Treasure Gobbo, as well as the Blood Tithe Harvester. Yep,
so we do have Ow as well to play this turn. A really incredible card on its own, just being able to take advantage of just destroy-based removal spells. You know, obviously 5 drops is not going to be great if your opponent has a lot of ways to exile it. But there's not a ton of that in the format, so that being hit with Go for the Throat and you get the value off of it ends up being exactly what Rei is looking for.
Yeah, you know, the deck that you had to fear in terms of exiles, that was a mono-white mid-range deck. You know, playing the Farewells, Lay Down Arms, we don't see any of that.
Exactly. You see a couple soul transfers in the sideboard and stuff like that from some of these Grixis or Rakdos decks, but usually not in high numbers. So, you know, this could be a very strong metagame deck.
Yeah. And you know what? 2 dragons are pretty darn terrifying by themselves. So if Karas doesn't have a way to deal with them, we could just see the big flyers take this game down. But I certainly want to see this combo go off.
Yes, absolutely. And I've seen plenty of these combos from Rei where maybe you don't necessarily absolutely win the game on the spot, but you can have some RataDraic tokens and just make a very wide battlefield with some of these abilities. And it kind of looks like a combo, even though it's not going to go infinite. But of course, the infinite combo itself is very powerful in this format.
Yeah, and super satisfying, I must imagine.
Oh, yeah. All right, so a big think there. I see Go for the Throat, a couple Fables, and a couple other cards. And yeah, really interesting in this deck, Ailey, to not be playing Invoke, too. Like, that's the only player not playing Invoke that's playing Grixis. So either Karis knows something we don't.
Yeah, you know, I'm just looking at the list that he submitted here. You know, got Urtai Resurrected in there, a couple copies of Liliana, you know, playing the Make Disappears, too.
Yeah, it looks like Karis really values the fact that there are a lot of one-ofs that the opponents have to respect.
Yeah. You know, mind games aplenty, so.
All right, Fable coming up, discarding a card. We got a couple zones for these graveyards. I'm sure we'll get those sorted out.
You expect Magic players to play in the zones?
I expect the judges watching it to put it in the zones. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't clarifying that.
Oh, goodness. Everyone's got their own style. We were asked yesterday by our colleagues, Paul Marshall, are you a deck up and down or left and right?
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I'm up and down. It's like, okay, you can stay. Okay, sure.
Yeah, I got sent to exile for being left and right.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Could have played around it, Corey.
Could have.
Didn't.
All right, Liliana to be able to sacrifice something here.
Yeah.
Exiling to be able to cast some spells.
What's a follow-up here from Karis? Got a couple considerations in hand.
Yeah, you got Go for the Throat to be able to deal with Ow, but it does come with some other cards coming with it. So it's not the best thing to do now. So really shutting down the Goblin Shaman attack.
Just has to sit back, say go. We draw here for Rei Zhang.
So can play the land, but it is a tap land off the Blackleaf Cliffs. And the cutdown almost assuredly will be cast. But here is Go for the Throat. And a nice timing on this to be able to make sure that if another dragon was hit or something like that, it was not going to be able to take down Liliana.
Yep, so Liliana survives. 1 point of damage to Karis, courtesy of the Pain Lands. I see a Corpse Appraiser in the top. So top 7, mana value 4 or less onto the battlefield.
So you can get 2 2-drops. You can get the powerful dragon. Atushi decides to just get a Corpse Appraiser.
Targets.
Corpse Appraiser is going to get rid of something in the yard to dig further into the library here for Rei Zhang.
Yep, so there's definitely draws where this really cool RataBlade deck just plays out like a Grixis midrange deck at times, has plenty of removal, has Corpse Appraisers, and then just has really tricky to deal with cards, and it's just really hard to play against.
Yeah, for sure. You know, like, if you had to just take a quick glance at this, you'd just be like, oh, it says Grixis midrange with a couple extra things in there, right?
Yeah, Grixis midrange splashing out.
Yeah. Yeah, just double white, you know, no big deal. Biggie. But, you know, the mana base at the moment is pretty good. The lands hurt, though, so...
They definitely do.
The burn decks that have been submitted are going to have a pretty good time, it seems.
Yeah, the mana base in Standard is quite strong. You have a lot of lands that help produce a ton of mana, but you do got to play some Pain Lands, for sure. Yeah. And this is going to be one of those decks where Transmogrant is going to be excellent.
Oh, yeah. That guy's going to be on the battlefield nonstop.
So many zones, just making sure we get them right. All right, so we have Lauren as an option to be able to destroy Fable the Mirror Breaker.
Yeah, cut down. I'm going to take care of the little treasure gobbo over there.
Decides to not play the Blackleaf Cliffs to get another Owl into play.
Nice. So Owl the Dawn Sky, Corpse Appraiser. Really good turn there for Rei Zhang, just filtering through so much of their deck, getting to find, you know, plenty of interaction and just ways to keep Karis in check here.
Yep, absolutely. We do see Lauren being held back. You know, you don't really have to kill Reflection until this turn. You know, next turn being able to copy Blood Tithe Harvester and start dealing with permanents is definitely not what Rei wants, so I'm sure we'll see that taken care of next turn.
Yeah, thank goodness the reflection isn't hasty, otherwise that would be bad news.
Yeah, we don't need to be making Fable any better here,
No,
Ailey,
no,
that's for
it's
sure.
already pushing it. It's just like, yeah, okay, this card, real good.
Yeah, and speaking of cards that are not that good in this matchup, Cutdown does not have a ton of targets up against Rei.
I see Corpse Appraiser here now for cars. Let's take a look-ski, top of the deck. What do we find?
Fable, Abrade, and Negate. Negate not that strong. You know, most of the time up against a combo deck, you usually think it's going to be quite strong, but this is a really creature-based combo deck. Abrade also not that strong, and Fable number 3, surprisingly not that strong on this battlefield as well. So a relative miss here from Cars.
Yeah. I mean, the counter and Abrade, you know, they are clean answers to Blade of the Shared Souls. So wanting to keep one of those at least, looks like we're going to keep both.
Yep, that makes sense to me.
Nice. Combat.
All
That's
right.
my favorite step.
Yes.
Liliana down, the Dawn Sky, getting rid of the very powerful Planeswalker.
And still a great hand for Rei. With 6 mana, able to deploy 2 of those things, either double Fable or Lauren into Fable. Gotta like Rei's chances here.
I really like Lorena the Third Path when you got Shieldred out.
Yes.
Oh, we're just both gonna draw a card, no biggie, dunk.
Yeah. Big life swing, no big deal.
And then we're gonna see Lorena the Third Path taking care of the reflection, followed up here by a reflection of Kikidis once again.
Nice target for Negate to be able to stop that here, but Chorus really needs to find an answer for Ow, and then even finding the answer for it, you got to find an answer for what it's going to find, more than likely.
Yeah. Yeah, this deck is just chock full of things that Ow, the Dawn Sky, can filter through out of the top of the library. Bloodscythe Harvester needs another blood token just to be able to clear the way here a little bit.
Yep, absolutely.
We could see Corpse Appraiser on Corpse Appraiser Violence if the big pesky dragon is out of the way, but he's just hanging out for the time being. So, Fable, once again.
There is the Fable, and Rei is still pretty far away from comboing here.
Yeah.
You know, you need RataBlade, and it's
And
not like
Blade, yeah.
and it's not like you play 4 of that legend. RataBlade is the worst card when it comes to just standalone.
Yeah.
You know, the card itself does not do that much, but really helps out the rest of your stuff. But only playing 2 of that and 2 Blade of the Shared Souls. So it's kind of a more stumble into the combo deck instead of like forcefully trying to combo.
Yeah, you know, there's not really a way to tutor into that. You know, if you do have Ow dying a couple times, you can grab RataBlade that way.
Speaking of, RataBlade heard and summoned itself to the top of the deck.
I summon the... Yeah. All right, Corpse Appraiser and Corpse Appraiser Violence.
Okay, and I believe that is going to create a Corpse Appraiser token?
Nope, that's just Legends.
Oh, yep, of course, Yep, absolutely. Only legendary cards. That would be really good.
Yeah, that would be kind of gross. Thank goodness it doesn't do that. So, RataBlade, just a 3/3 for the time being. But as soon as Loran or Ow die, ooh, boy.
Yeah, there we go.
Things are going to get spicy.
Yeah, now Karis has to find an answer to RataBlade and Ow. And it's at 7, so you have 2 turns here to find something.
Yeah.
Cycle is not a good sign for Karis.
Yeah, chucking 2, drawing 2, cycling 1. Wait, yay, blood token. We're digging.
Yep.
This is now the Corpse Appraisers have, you know, one of them won the fight and the other one's taking them to the backyard, start digging a hole for them. That's kind of what just happened there, because Rei Zhang picking up the win there in game number 1. Karis just not able to find anything of substance.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so looking at this one from Rei, we do have a bit of a sketchy keep here. There is, there's only blue, black, and white land so far, so no way to cast the 2 Fables that were in hand, and then drew a 3rd for Rei.
All right, this is going to be many fables. Plenty of stories here.
Yes.
It's going to be like reading Lord of the Rings.
Well, if Rei gets a red land, otherwise this game could be kind of done before it begins.
Yep. Sometimes magic is just like that. Top of the library doesn't behave, but that is going to be a negate on a Bank Buster.
Big
so
draw step.
Get that out of there. Do we find a red source? Fiend's Tower.
Fiend's
ain't
Tower.
It.
At least a land to be able to cast here,
Yeah.
get you a little closer to the 2 owls in play. Helps a little bit, but we see Karis, now that we are in the post-board games, you get incredibly powerful cards like Disdainful Stroke.
Yeah.
Disdainful Stroke is so strong against this deck post-board, dealing with all the dragons.
Yeah.
All 8 of the dragons Ray has access to, or excuse me, 6 of them, only 2 at Tushi's.
Disdainful Stroke. Excellent post-board. Just the one of them. So, gonna have to be thinking about that. But we've got the Razorlash Transmogrant. Causing some problems here.
Another big draw step. Is it a land? Ooh, quite the opposite.
Mirror Hole.
Atushi was the draw this turn, I believe.
All right. That's yeah, that's a very clunky hand right now.
Yeah, and even Mirror Hall Mimic is a 4-drop. And yeah, not
just got a discard.
Not the greatest card there.
Yeah, this little Razorlash is just like, let's go! Down to 8 is Rei Zhang already, and yeah, I think you called it. This is going to be over before it even becomes a game.
Yep, and Lauren off the top, at least something to be able to be cast, and that was actually not bad at all because it lowers the clock here, and Transmogrant is at least 1 land away from being able to bring it back.
Yeah, but that Make Disappear might just be...
Yeah, probably fire it off here. I think you kind of just have to.
Just go for it, you know?
Yeah.
Just pounce. Don't be relentless. Oh, I mean, be relentless, I should
Yeah,
say.
especially, I think the biggest deal, like if Transmogrant dies, whatever, you can bring it back next turn when you have 6 mana. But the fact that Lauren can draw a card to maybe get Ray out of this, I think that's a reason in itself to use Make Disappear there.
I mean, yeah, at this point, if I was in Ray's chair, I'd just be like, yeah, well, I'm just going to put Lauren in the way here to save my face a little bit.
Yep.
Because now I've got Corpse Appraiser munching on that. So, yeah, Karis is certainly putting his foot on the gas and looking very much like he's going to win this one.
Yeah, right as a corpse gets put into the yard, Corpse Appraiser is there to do some appraising. And Transmogrant being put to the graveyard here. Excellent. If Karis does decide to play land 6, now you can play this draw-go game where in case Ray doesn't do anything, you're just able to bring it back.
Yeah, and just, you know, having an answer for everything, a go for the throat and a braid in hand, Disdainful Stroke. So anything that Ray could potentially follow up with here is just going to get answered. So let's go to game number 3.
Yep, game number 3, a little bit of a risky keep, but Ray was on the draw. And, you know, if you draw a red source there and you have those fables, that game would have looked very, very different. So I like the keep. I for sure would have kept. I keep a couple loose hands in my day, though, I must say.
Hashtag never mulligan, right?
Yes, yes. Never mulligan, always punished is my motto.
You should put that on a shirt. I'm sure many people would like to buy it.
Absolutely. Me and Seth for sure, yeah.
Yeah. We call that Seth Mulligan keep?
Yes, absolutely.
Seth man, what? I don't know. It's been a long day.
No, you nailed it.
I got it, yep.
You absolutely nailed it.
His name is now Seth Mulligan. Anywho, let's get underway here. Concealing Curtain on the board here for Rei Zhang.
Yeah, spicy
That's a
one
pretty
there.
nifty card. It's like a duress on a stick.
Yep, absolutely. A nice little card. Being able to transform that on 3. Take a peek at your opponent's hand. It is a nice little one of there. And now this hand is pretty much the exact opposite for Ray. They decided, you know, last time I didn't get to cast my spells, so I'm going to keep lands that can cast them this time. Maybe a little bit more lands for Ray this time around, but hopefully drawing into some gas.
Revealing Eye, the backside of the Concealing Curtains. More like a Thoughtseize than a Duress.
Yeah.
Just doesn't hit you, though.
Yeah, quite a powerful card. So it is pretty risky. You know, you do see the transform similar to, you know, all the transform cards from the new set. You do get to respond to that. You don't. It doesn't just flip immediately and get the trigger. So Kara's getting a really nice,
ooh, and an
nice value there.
Yeah, excellent follow-up, too. You know, it always sucks when you can't play Corpse Appraiser on turn 3 because if it doesn't have a target. But, you know, making his own target there. Appraising some corpses, doing some digging. Let's see what he's able to dig up here.
Yep, and there we see Unlicensed Hearse as well as that one of Disdainful Stroke, joining the hands to be able to create some disruption, and then Blood Tithe Harvester. That's really kind of all you need is when you have a Corpse Appraiser in play, playing one more creature and then just backing it up with disruption.
Yeah.
6 power will create a very quick clock.
Oh, yeah. These 3 power creatures are the name of the game, this standard. And they are sure putting in work. As we see Saheeli.
Yeah, that was a big draw there for Rei. Really looking for something to play. One of the dragons would have been excellent, but just picked up another land and is just forced to send it back or play Lauren into a battlefield where it's not getting any target. Not exactly what you want here.
Yeah, definitely not. Saheeli Filigree Master, the one of. Not going to make too much of a difference right now. So let's follow up here. We did see another Corpse Appraiser in hand, but it's just going to be the Blood Tithe Harvester.
Yeah, and that is just really getting around every piece of interaction that Rei has so far. Destroy Evil doesn't have a target. Negate not really doing anything here. So Rei really needs to find something.
Yeah. Couple lands in hand, Destroy Evil, Negate, and Loran of the third path. So hoping the top of the library treats them well.
And so far, it has not been pretty much the opposite story of last game. Whenever Rei wanted lands, it was spells, and now when Rei wants spells, it's lands. A little unfortunate here.
I mean, there is a target. In response, we'll see the blood token sacrificed to cycle. Let's see, what are we chucking here?
Looks like Lithomatic Barrage was taken to the front, but looks like Hearse is going to be the discard. Hearse really isn't incredibly strong in this matchup. It does help against opposing Corpse Appraisers. In response, you can target that. But outside of that, it doesn't do a ton.
Yeah.
It is a creature that just gets larger and larger, and then eventually you just crew it up and attack.
It's no Reckoner Bankbuster, though.
It is no Bankbuster, absolutely.
It is kind of flavorful that the Corpse Appraiser is driving away in the unlicensed Hearse.
That is true.
You know?
Maybe that was the reason Karis brought it in.
Flavor win.
All right, there's an Urtai as well off the top for Karis. That has just got to be one of the best possible cards against this deck. Just being able to counter these powerful dragons on the stack without having to actually deal with them on the battlefield.
Yeah, it's
really
also,
nice.
if he was to show up a little later, can still kill one of the dragons. But yeah, like you mentioned, getting them on the stack, that's where you want to keep your dragons.
Yep, absolutely. So there is Bankbuster getting countered.
In for 3.
Damage coming in.
Yeah. Turn things sideways. Down to 14 goes Rei. Top of the deck. Be nice. Nope. That was a Sundown Pass again, I believe.
So now with Lauren targeting the blood, at least it was protected from the Blood Tithe Harvester, so you can just, at least activate it here. You know, you don't really want to be giving Karis more cards here, but you got to get something.
Yeah, you need to do something. And at this point, it might just be a Rafine's Tower being cycled. Hope to find something.
Yeah, or activate Lauren first before you cycle.
Yep. Cycling away Rafine's Tower.
Karis has got to be very happy about that.
Forge Evil. Yeah, no. And go for the throw. Okay. That's a decent pickup.
Okay.
Just stem the bleeding a little bit.
Another Liliana there. Not ideal for Karis. Really looking for land 5 to be able to deploy one of these 3-drops and have some counter magic up.
Yeah.
So a little unfortunate, but still, Karis doesn't have too much to complain about here so far.
You know, he's in the position where he doesn't have to stress too much about the next play. He's got creatures on the board that are doing a good job, just chipping away at the life total here of Rei Zhang. Down to 11 they go. And go for the throat is going to take out the Corpse Appraiser.
And we'll see if we want to draw a card at all.
Yeah.
Yep.
End step draw.
7.
All right, let's see what Rei picked up. Any action here to be able to do something?
Ooh,
wow, there we go. Duress and Archangel.
Okay.
The one thing that is just going to be such a blowout, though, Ailey, is the Urtai. You can't Duress it away, and it's going to be a perfect answer for this Archangel.
Counter spell on a stick.
Yeah, impressive.
Oh, wow. Oh, if you're in Rei's position, then what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, eventually you have to play into it.
Yeah.
And by eventually, I mean probably right now, so that you can then draw something impactful and have something to do later. But yeah, the thing is, Urtai is going to give you a card, but then you are still going to have to block it. Rei's already at 11, so it's going to be a rough one for them.
Yeah. Man, this is big think time now for Rei Zhang. On the back foot. Down to 11 already, courtesy of these 3-powered creatures that have just been chipping away at their life total. The round of the third path is a way to dig deeper and find something else.
So probably not taking any of the Lilianas. You know, with the redundant copy, it's pretty hard to take Chorus off of that. So it's probably between Disdainful Strunk and Lithomancer. Barrage here decides to just take the counter spell. I like that a lot, especially being the one of.
Yeah.
So you know if you top deck, you know, one of these powerful dragons, it's more than likely going to resolve. You can have Make Disappear that Chorus could top deck, but yeah, I think you have to clear that way. If Barrage is dealing with Ow when it's on the battlefield, that's something you can live with.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, that you're more than happy with, but we are going to see the Urtai.
Yeah, and interesting, Rei decided not to cast Archangel here. I'm assuming we're at the end step. And yeah, just vanilla 4 mana 3/2. And Rei's probably got to be pretty happy about that, actually.
Did it not do anything as it entered?
Just nothing. Yeah, decided to not kill Lauren, just played it, and didn't want to destroy.
Destroy another target, creature, or planeswalker.
Yeah.
So it has to.
It choose up to 1. Yeah, so. Yeah, just choose up to 1, so you can just choose to not. Yeah.
Gotcha. So just a flashy 3/2 then.
Flashy 3/2, not
Frilled
bad.
Mystic, sort of.
Yeah. Yeah, Rei's got to be pretty happy with that, though. Archangel is one of those cards that can get you back.
Yeah. Definitely is. And it can also deal with the 2 creatures on the board right now if it wants to. You know, save up enough mana, just save up your money, and then you also can kill some things.
Yeah, I mean, that could be the turning point in this game.
Yeah.
If next turn that Archangel just resolves, there's no Make Disappear found, something like that, all of a sudden that could be the card that swings this back.
Sure can, but as it stands right now, Chorus is looking very much in control. 3 creatures on the board. Rei Zhang down to 11.
Yeah, it was pretty tempting to just use up your mana there.
Drawing cards? Was that a thank you for drawing cards?
I think so, yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're getting a free card. Thanks. Thanks, friend. Down to 5 goes Rei Zhang now.
So that was the Barrage, which also would be an answer to Archangel. Now, there is the Lilianas to be able to deal with that straight away as well, but Archangel is going to be phenomenal here. And then a follow-up after that, a couple Fables to be able to do something as well.
Yeah, no, this is at least going to pad the life total a little bit with a kicker cost being paid on Archangel, you know, and clearing out some of it's like a mini Wrath.
Yep.
That's why it's called Archangel of Wrath. Aha! We deciphered the code.
Yeah, and it is lifelink, so I mean that's the important thing here is you get to deal with some creatures and gain 4 life.
Yeah, 6 land. That's what you need. Black mana available, and the red. Double white available. Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I believe so. Maybe have to take a pain, but I don't think so.
Yeah, get those out of there. Gain 4. 3/4 on the board. Liliana the Veil can deal with that.
Yeah, that was about best possible for Rei with that whole sequence of using the removal spell and using that Urtai here pretty aggressively.
Yeah, super heads up from them too. Just like, you know, sandbag it a little bit.
Yep.
Try and goad your opponent into casting the thing that they could cast on the end step.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, Rei could have cast that into Urtai and decided not to, and it was a very, very smart play.
Yeah.
All right, now looking like it's probably double Fable time.
Let's go, Fable. Let's go. Goblin time. I bet Jim Davis is so happy about all these goblins running loose, huh?
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Celebrating Mog Monday on the 8th. Uh-huh.
All right. And now, I mean, Karis doesn't have, you know, like this auto,
there's no, like,
win
oops,
play
I win
right
button,
now.
yeah.
Now, there is the ability to go Liliana, deal with one of the creatures. And then Corpse Appraiser to Crew Bankbuster, and that will force a chump. So that's the surface value play here that is still very strong, but there's no... Oh, wait, go for the throat off the top. Nope, still one land short here. Can go Liliana to deal with one, go for the throat the other, and then one short of playing Blood Tithe Harvester, and then equipping.
Get that Archangel of Wrath out the graveyard. Let's go digging, see what else we find, if that changes anything. That's another Fable of the Mirror Breaker on top of the library.
Yeah, I think this Fable card might make it.
Yeah, I think it's doing pretty well for itself.
I think so. I think so.
Oh. I mean, it's no Suckenzang Crucible of Defiance.
Yeah, of course, of course. So that is a Transmogrant that did hit the graveyard, though.
This is the Summoning Sickness.
And there's enough land, so for 2 mana, you're able to bring that back.
Alrighty.
Move the ducks.
Choo-choo. We've crewed, and that is 7 power coming through, yeah?
7 power coming through, and has the answer to a double block with the go for the throat.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah. And Mogged, I mean, Karis had the ability to just do that right away and force a chump block, but decided to do that first to see if there was going to be any kind of double blocks like this from Rei.
Yep, just the plus up on Liliana, each player discarding.
And that's pretty strong against Fable here that's coming to Chapter 2. That was just an extra card you got to turn into something else.
So Fables aplenty, trigger on the stack. Anything we want to discard to draw.
Okay.
Yeah, get those lands out of there. 2 lands down.
Now you get 2 more shots at it if you don't find anything you really love here, but Rei needs something great to be able to stand up to this.
Okay, Corpse Appraiser. I don't know if that's going to do it.
Yeah, and that Destroy Evil just has been stuck in hand the entire time and just hasn't looked great so far. But of course, that's a card you just kind of need. Shieldred's a real powerhouse. Just hasn't lined up so far.
Yeah, it doesn't hit artifacts, so, you know, it'd be great if that card could kill the Bankbusters for Rei, but unfortunately not the case.
So Corpse Appraiser is a pretty decent hit. You can at least, you know, try to find another removal spell here. But now there is...
Do they stay alive, though? I mean, Liliana can just minus, right?
Yep, Liliana can minus to deal with it. So, yeah, I mean, this is
not looking great here for Rei Zhang.
Bad.
We didn't get to see the sword even once.
No.
We had this grand plan of just shouting for Mirrodin cost, but alas, our plans have been foiled.
Well, don't ruin our plan later. Maybe we'll get to do this for next or for tomorrow or something.
You heard nothing. I said nothing.
Exactly. Yeah, and we were getting ready to figure out all the lines here of this deck before this round.
And it just became a story of hand disruption and destroy things. So.
And it really was a story of, you know, game 2 was a little bit of a loose keep,
kind of
looking for red mana, didn't find it, and this game kept plenty of mana and then just drew land. So pretty unlucky for Rei.
Yeah.
Discard
all cards. Oh, none of the cards. All right. Yeah. All right. So Corpse Appraiser, munch. Take out the Transmogrant. Oh.
Okay, I guess I said that.
Oh no! Said to remove Urtai when there is the Transmogrant in the yard.
Oh shucks.
And I think packing it up.
Irrespective, like I don't see any way out of it for them.
No, I don't think so. That was really brutal, even hitting the Transmogrant.
Yeah. Super unfortunate there for Rei Zhang.
What's your name?
Nice face-to-face interactions once again, Corey. It's lovely to see our players here are just excellent human beings all around, and I can't wait to get to know more of them as this week progresses, or as this weekend progresses, and get to find some more, you know, new favorites, some new heroes.
Some new heroes is the best way to say it. And yeah, so far, you know, of course, that RataBlade deck didn't exactly do what we wanted to. I know there's a lot of fans of that deck, as well as a lot of fans of Rei. Didn't work out here, but Mog's Grixis mid-range list is also something to, you know, bring some attention to. No invokes. It's pretty spicy. Pretty spicy, I must say.
It's working for him so far. We have more magic here, friends, and Maria's going to tell us all about it.
Coming up next, we have Yiwen Chen versus Nonthakorn Kositaporn.
Yiwen Chen is on Azorius Soldiers, one of the aggressive decks of the format. You do see Recruitment Officer as well as Resolute Reinforcements as a way to get onto the board early, but Harbin Vanguard Aviator, one of the big payoffs for this soldier strategy, and being able to back it up with counterspells like Make It Disappear. On the other side, Nonthakorn Kositaporn is on Azorius Control, but this is a very unique version of Azorius Control because Atraxa Grand Unifier is the end game. This deck uses Alabaster Host Intercessor to go plane cycling for these Triome-style lands like Rafine's Tower and Spar's Headquarters in order to be able to play cards like Leyline Binding and Atraxa in a traditionally two-color deck.
It's a blue-white battle, aggro versus control, coming up after this.
Welcome back to coverage of Pro Tour Minneapolis, March of the Machine, which all along turned out to be Money Davudi.
We knew it. I knew it the whole time.
I was he was in red all the time. Red is always sus, I will tell you.
Yeah.
Welcome back, friends, as we talk nonsense here in the booth. It is Haley Loney alongside Corey Baumeister, and we have quite a spicy matchup. Two decks that we probably won't see too much more of outside of these players' hands. It is Azorius Control up against Azorius Soldiers. Yiwen Chen versus Nonthakorn Kositaporn, who is playing Atraxa in both formats today, because why not? Atraxa just can't stay away from this guy.
I love it. Just playing all the colors here. You know, we saw it from the draft deck. It just makes sense to be playing them here. So yeah, gotta love it.
Oh, Atraxa. Just infecting everybody, aren't you? Let's get into game number 3 here between these two players. Picking up a game apiece thus far. And I know this isn't you know, a matchup that we had much on our radar, if at all. Well, what do you expect to see here between Azorius Control and the Soldiers?
I would think this probably favors Azorius aggro. You know, just pressure mixed with counter spells is usually very good against anything that has the word control in it. But Nonthakorn is on the play, so that kind of evens it out a bit. But I would put the advantage on the Azorius Soldiers deck.
Yeah. Soldiers is a sweet deck, and unfortunately our first soldier we were trying to see in action is going to disappear. You know, he's AWOL, so not going to be hanging out in this matchup for much longer. As, it's just a land go play here for the time being for Yiwen Chen.
Yeah, this is a really spicy deck from Nonthakorn. I never really even thought about Alabaster
Host Intercessor,
being able to cycle for any of these lands here. So yeah, really cool stuff. It shows a 4-color control deck, or base Azorius control, but it really is all the colors to be able to take advantage of Leyline's Binding and just make it that 1-mana removal spell.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Love it. Now the tri-lands are just so good. Absolutely love them, and no soldiers are sticking around now. Sky Strike Officer, another make disappear from Nonthakorn. Not letting that get anywhere.
Yeah, and these are exactly the kind of games that a control deck wins, when you're able to deal with the threats, on a 1-for-1 basis as the cards get played. And Yiwen didn't have the card that is kind of the best against control decks, just to make the draw a little bit awkward, and that is either Fairy Mastermind, the Yuta Takahashi card, or Resolute Reinforcements, to just be able to play a threat at end step and force the make disappear then, and then you can untap and play a spell. But if you just play them at sorcery speed, it makes these make disappears even better.
That's the ideal situation, is if you can use or force the control player to use the mana on their turn. As we see Recruitment Officer hit the board here. This is a really cool card. I love it. Usually 1-drops, they're 2-1. They don't really do much. But if you get into the late game, it can just keep digging through your library for you. But alas, it's going to get got. But there's Counterspell backup this time for it as Lay Down Arms attempts to get rid of it. But Yiwen says no.
Back in the day, we played just Savannah Lions, and we liked it. 1 mana, 2-1, no text. It was good enough. So yeah, of course, the Recruitment Officer is an excellent Magic card. All right, and there we go. Lay Down Arms, and then Zephyr Sentinel to be able to return that was really powerful here.
Not Counterspell per se, but definitely a way to keep your threats protected. Sunset Revelry. This is another cool card that control players just love. It's like, oh, you have more creatures. Oh, you have more life. Oh, you have more everything. Cool. I'm going to get some stuff.
Yep, absolutely. And it looks like life totals were the same, so it was just you have more creatures. I get 2 1/1s. Maybe got to draw a card depending on hand size here as well. Yeah, really powerful card.
It's the human tokens hanging out with Nonthakorn at the moment. But the Zephyr Sentinel is a flyer, so good way to chip in some damage if it survives.
Yeah, and that Zephyr Sentinel was just incredible there against sorcery speed removal like Lay Down Arms, just being able to not only save the creature, but it just gets that extra bonus.
Yeah.
And 3/2 flyer in the air is going to be something that has to be dealt with at some point.
Yep. Hey, more 3-power creatures getting the job done. So Zephyr Sentinel taking Nonthakorn down. Should be at 17 now.
And now we do see the Plaza of Heroes open, as well as a Mirex here available. So you do have just a ton of stuff you can do with your mana, or activate a Recruitment Officer. So it'll be interesting here. But as we say that, boom goes the Valkyrie here as an excellent sideboard card here.
How long were you waiting to say that?
Since that card got previewed, I think, yeah.
Boon goes the Valkyrie. You're welcome, chat. Oh boy. Flying First Strike, a life link, 4/4. Does it become a 5/5? Sure does. So that is quite the thing to deal with now if you are Yiwen Chen.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the deck list right now, and
Destroy Evil is one of them?
There's not a lot of ways to deal with this card at all. Lantern Flare from the board, if you can amass some more creatures to be able to deal with it, is possible. There's some Brutal Cathars in the sideboard, and then there is 4 Destroy Evils in the 75, but we'll see how many were even brought in. I mean, this is the only target, and it is open deck list, so we know there's 2 in the sideboard, but, not necessarily a card you want to have 4 Destroy Evils in your deck against the control deck.
No. Sky Strike Officer. Number 2 hits the board this time.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I take that back. All 4 of them might be in there because of Leyline Binding. Just the fact that you can deal with that, that might be enough of a reason to have that in here if you're Yiwen.
Maybe. Boonbringer Valkyrie. Gonna do some damage, though, before it gets dealt with, that's for sure.
Memory Deluge, find some
Yeah.
cards here.
Haven't seen that in a hot minute.
Every control player's favorite card since it was previewed. And there we see, I believe that is Atraxa as one of the cards. One of the cards was just snap-picked here by Nonthakorn.
Nonthakorn having an excellent run in Limited, proving just how good the Limited format is, that you can play anything you please, which that's what it felt like.
Yep. And you can play against your heroes round number 1, like Nonthakorn played against Reed Duke and dispatched him. Always exciting to see, and there is the Destroy Evil to be able to deal with that Valkyrie.
So Valkyrie down, just a couple itty-bitty soldiers to deal with right now.
And we did see there the tap 3 untapped soldiers from Sky Strike Officer, where, I mean, that card is just incredibly difficult to deal with. If you leave it on the battlefield, eventually you'll kind of get buried in card advantage, especially in a matchup like this for control.
Yeah, the soldiers deck is pretty cool. You know, when it goes off, it looks spectacular, but it has been known to falter and just gets crushed by, you know, some of the more painful meta decks out there.
And I mean, the worst card for this Azorius Spirits deck, or Azorius Soldiers deck, is Cutdown.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a card that is one of the most played cards out there right now, so that's just kind of brutal for all aggro decks right now. Even Esper Legends, of course, falls to Cutdown, and that's the best deck against the removal spell.
Yeah.
So that's just the biggest problem with this Azorius Soldiers deck, or it would be much more popular if that card didn't exist.
Lay down arms. Going to target the Sky Strike Officer once again. Skrelv, a little late to the party, won't be able to do anything about that. Do we have something in hand?
Wow,
do have a
another
counter for
Zephyr
it.
Sentinel here. They have been incredible. And look at this. With the ability on the stack, you can tap the 3 creatures, draw a card, and then protect the officer.
Yeah, wait, hang on.
Okay, so it looks like it was Yiwen getting a little ahead of themselves there, casting it and then tapping.
Right, so response here from Nonthakorn first.
Nonthakorn does have Make Disappear with the token, so there's 2 mana available, but I mean, these soldier tokens are not doing much anyways, so I would assume one of them is going to be casualtied away.
For sure. Yeah. Protecting the lay down arms, getting rid of that Sky Strike, and preventing the card draw too. So pretty good exchange there for Nonthakorn. This board is getting a little wide, though. I'm starting to get a bit twitchy about this.
Yeah, and Nonthakorn only has 2 cards in hand. Not sure exactly what they are. There is the Memory Deluge in the board to restock a bit, but yeah, like you were saying, Ailey, there's just becoming a lot of power on the battlefield here. And Yiwen has just been playing a spell and then drawing a card with Sky Strike Officer, so not really running out of fuel that quickly from Yiwen.
I think he's got 2 copies of Sunfall in hand.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's not too shabby.
Not bad.
Yeah, let's draw a couple cards.
So
Get
now
a little wide. Get a little dead to a Sunfall, maybe. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, let's see
Is there a
if
counter
these
for it?
creatures are falling down today or not. And yeah, there is the negate.
Wow, just a clean counter. No, thank you very much, says Yiwen Chen, keeping his creatures alive. But there's another one.
There is another one, but if there is another counter spell from Yiwen, and if there isn't, more than likely there's just going to be, I'm going to draw a couple more cards off this officer and hope to find one. So the one thing the Plaza of Heroes doesn't really do anything to the Sunfall as far as protecting a creature, so that is something good for Nonthakorn.
Yeah, it's a similar effect to Farewell in that, stuff's exiled, you can't really do too much against it. But counter spells certainly work.
All right, that creates a gigantic battlefield here.
Anthem effect. Yes, please. Valiant Veteran hits the board.
Okay.
Oh, goodness me. This kind of feels like the white version of, what's that? The red one that makes little elementals. Oh, man. It's played in Pioneer. I'm sure chat knows.
I'm
and then
blanking.
Oh,
Young Pyromancer, right? There we go. Yep.
Or the other, not the Young Pyromancer, the bigger Pyromancer.
Iron Class or Iconoclast?
No, I don't know.
All right.
know, similar effect is like, I'm going to do this for you guys, and then I'm going to die, but you know what? This is my parting gift for you.
Sure. Okay,
And
here's another one.
Sunfall, once again. Is there another answer from Yiwen Chen? Do you have it?
And even if there is, you know, even if there isn't another counterspell, there's still the Mirrex that's going to be cranking out tokens each turn. So even if this resolves, which it basically has to, or Nonthakorn is pretty much out of this next turn, but even if it resolves, this is definitely not Nonthakorn being out of the woods yet.
No, definitely not. And the blue-white deck is pretty good at rebuilding after a board wipe, so...
But that being said, this is going to be a 7/7 incubate token, which is quite large.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just an activation of the recruitment officer.
Uh-huh.
So this is going to be excellent here for Nonthakorn.
Diggy, diggy, dig.
Incubate. Yeah. Incubate.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. Wow.
Impressive.
Exile, go bye-bye. Yeah. I'm sure we have an incubate token after 3 rounds of draft today. I'm sure we can find one for you.
But now it's just definitely going to be a case of Yiwen probably just overloading the board with all the creatures that he has in hand.
Yeah.
And then we'll kind of see what the follow-up is for Nonthakorn. But yeah, definitely advantage bar swinging far back into his favor.
All right, we'll find a token there, I'm sure. But there's our 7 counters on our incubated token.
There we
Doesn't
go.
have the mana to... it does have the mana to flip
Yep.
it right now, so... Let's see. Off the top of the deck here, yields for Yiwen Chen.
Oh, fourth one. Okay.
I love this guy. He's
I
so
love
great.
Nonthakorn.
Oh, man. I just want to play a game with him. Let's just go jump into a pod later on.
I'm in.
Sure,
I'm
he'll
in.
be totally fine with that.
Seems like a very, very nice person.
Very chill guy to play with. Skystrike Officer number 4, was that, he said?
Yep.
Or 3? Just all of them out now?
I believe it was number 4. But,
Good
I mean,
grief.
Yiwen did not have the best follow-up if that's the only card. You know, I would expect something like Resolute here, the make 2 soldiers, Resolute
Yeah, there you go.
reinforcement. And that's nice. Then you do get to tap these and draw a card at end step. So,
Yeah, that's
really
neat.
strong.
That's exactly what he's going to do, Yiwen Chen.
So, Nonthakorn did decide to incubate... cycle at end step and then incubate during his turn instead of flashing back
nice.
Memory Deluge. So that would lead me to believe that Nonthakorn has some follow-up in hand.
Yeah.
Something to cast at
Oh,
least.
nice. Staycacious welcome into Valiant Veteran. Super neat indeed. So drawing some cards, buffing the team.
The value on
That's
this
a lot of
Azorius
damage.
Soldiers deck. Yeah, is this?
That's 7
lethal?
damage.
Yeah. It's a lethal attack.
Yeah. That's
That's
it.
it.
The 1-2 punch.
Wow.
Awesome sauce. Really, really cool stuff there from the Azorius Soldiers. Just like, oops, I win. You know, oh, it's fine. I'm only at 7. Haha, only.
Yeah, an aggressive deck that's playing against a deck that doesn't have really efficient removal like Cut Down and is able to play threats at end step with having counterspell to open.
Yeah.
Pretty bad news for that style of control deck. So a bit of a bad matchup there for Nonthakorn.
Yeah, but still a fun match to watch. And we have another one. So let's jump right in. Back into the action we go. Alan Wu up against Nico Bohnny. Grixis midrange versus domain control. We're going to start here in game number 3 with these players, I believe. So let's see if we can see this domain control deck do its thing, Corey, because we haven't yet. You and I.
Yeah, not so far yet. Domain Control, another deck, though, that is going to look really, really strong, or it's going to look really weak. You know, it just depends on if you get that perfect mana. Then you're going to be casting a lot more powerful spells than your opponent most of the time. But the problem is getting there. You know, you have a lot of awkward draws. You have to play one of each basic. Then you have to play a ton of duels and stuff. So it gets to be a little tricky there.
And this is sped up, as you can see. Our players are not this hopped up on caffeine, I promise.
Yeah, this is either sped up or this is exactly the speed that Luis and Shota play against each other.
Yeah, true. Oh, goodness me. So taking a look here. I like the doodles.
Those are beautiful.
On the double face cards. That's great. So Duress taking a look ski. Seeing the lay down arms. What else we got in there? It's an Atraxa. I'm not sure what their doodles are. Unfortunately, I'm not familiar with each player's unique style of art.
Well, it can be either wedding announcement, invasion of New Phyrexia. I mean, that looks like a lot of soldiers if I've ever seen
sure,
them.
yeah.
So, yeah, those are knights.
Cool,
and those are the only 2 cards, so looks like wedding announcement was probably left over.
Fable the Mirror Breaker down. There's our little treasure gobbo. Out to do some more looting.
Okay.
Not anymore. Lay down arms. Going to take care of that. Corey, I feel like we should be sped up too as we go through the motions here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just like,
I'm in. You lead the way. I'll follow you.
You won't know what I'm saying, but sure. Wedding announcement down. Creates that a little token.
And I did see Chrome Host Seed Shark. That is one of the innovations in this deck. And one of the most kind of broken interactions that you can have is Chrome Host Seed Shark and Leyline Binding still incubates for 6,
that's so cool.
even though you're paying 1.
Oh,
so
man.
that is the really cool thing that Nico Bohnny is taking advantage of
It's
here.
like Shark Typhoon Light. I bet chat love this card.
Yeah, Ground Typhoon, I guess, right?
No, it flies. What are you talking
Well,
about?
not the incubate tokens.
Well, okay, fine. You got me there. Still, it's cool. Well, this is one of the sharks that come off of the tornado. You see?
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
off the Shark
Now I'm
Typhoon.
with you.
There
Now
we go.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Oh man, that's a really cool interaction though. So
And a really strong card in the metagame. It dodges all the really, or at least one of the most popular removal spells. Cut
Dodges
down.
cut down,
You
yeah.
can't cut it down. You can go for the throat it. But these domain control decks, your opponents don't want to leave in a bunch of go for the throats against you. So
Yeah.
card seems really nice at kind of finding a hole in the removal spells that are being used.
yeah, Blade Coil Serpent, just the one of fun of. Hits the board there, and we got some hasty friends going. So just turning things sideways. I like this matchup already. This is great.
Yeah, all right. So it looks like I think we just drew some cards here from Alan. And, you know, a little fun fact, the last time we were in this exact building, Alan Wu was winning PT25.
Yeah,
with
alongside Greg
teammates.
Orange. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
So no stranger to success in Minneapolis,
Twin Cities, that's
Minnesota.
for sure,
That's for
yep.
sure, yeah. Wandering Emperor hits the board now. And we have a flipped wedding announcement.
Okay, looks like we got a big spell here, maybe a Shield Druid. There it is.
Yeah, the Apocalypse is down. So we have a Kikijiki that's gone unanswered.
Yep.
It just needs something fun to do, and Shieldred is not the thing you want to copy.
I mean, to be fair, end step crewing up Bankbuster, copying that, it's kind of awkward. You get the counters, it'll go away,
Yeah.
and then you can still draw 2 cards technically if you have the mana for it, and then it'll go away. It's a weird interaction that we probably won't even see here because
Yeah.
you'd rather just activate the Bankbuster, but that is an option.
So Shieldred keeping the would-be attackers at bay. There is a shark that can start swinging in, but yeah, this 2 points damage or this 2 life lost each turn is going to start adding up here for Nico Bohnny. So you can see he's going fast. He's just like, I'm going to try and kill you as quick as I can because best
Yep.
removal, player removal.
Yep, absolutely. And now we got some stuff coming in here. Whoa, lots of stuff.
Send the team. Love it. Alrighty.
All right, taking a ton of damage here. 13 damage to my count, putting Alan to 6. With Shieldred to recover some life.
Ooh,
You are going to be able to
that
draw,
hurts.
then draw again, go up to 10.
Yeah. Bankbuster helping out the team there, just padding the life total of Alan Wu a teeny tiny bit. But needs something here to take care of this board.
It's definitely one of those decks that Nico definitely has to bring the tokens with. There's
Yeah.
so many different tokens.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
You don't want to come unprepared to a Magic tournament with this one.
Let me see the final counter removed with the Bankbuster, creating that token, the pilot, as well as the treasure. And there is our friendly friend, Blood Tithe Harvester. And I mean, that's a good copy target
Yeah.
for our reflection.
Yeah,
Thinking about it.
Reflection is online. Now, there is only 1 blood, so the second blood
Second one
still does not allow you to kill the shark.
Yeah, because it's now at 5.
Yeah, it's actually
5
6.
toughness.
It's actually 6 with the Anthem
Yeah, because of the
in
Anthem
play.
effect, you're right.
Yep, so next turn, that's something that will be online.
Yeah.
So it looks like this is what Alan is looking to do is at the end of Nico's turn, Reflection a Harvester, and then untap, do it again.
Yeah, and then be able to
And then you
take care
can
of
go
the shark.
and shoot down 2 things as well.
Yeah, it's a pretty neat trick at the end step because then the first copy you make doesn't go away.
Yep.
It'll go away at the end of your end step along with the second one you make.
Exactly. So then you can just have 2 removal spells that are free.
Yeah.
2 -6/-6 to creatures.
Yeah, no biggie.
Now, that being said, Nico can put another counter on it. It looks like the creature was made off the Wandering Emperor anyways. But it was an option to give it 7 toughness, so you'd at least have to use both harvesters on it. But
Yeah.
man, Ailey, the shark has just been so good. I mean, look at all the things it's doing to this game.
Shark attack, do. Yeah, he's swinging in there, but, you know, Shield Red is keeping things stable here for Alan Wu for the time being, so not going to be super dead at this moment.
Yeah, so looks like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage being taken from Alan.
Yeah, there's no, like, gotcha fireballs out the sideboard or anything like that from Nico
No,
Bohnny. So.
there's a gotcha. I could play Wandering Emperor for 1 additional point, but nothing crazy like that.
Yeah. So down to 3 goes Alan Wu.
Now we'll see if Nico has anything here, because while this looks really good for Nico, you know, on surface value here, what Alan is about to do here with these reflections is incredible.
Oh.
Okay, looks like gets the reflection, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Excellent.
Nice. So that's one way to break up the nonsense that we've, you know, predicted here from Alan Wu.
And there is that interaction. That is a 6 incubate there for 1 mana.
Oh, and there goes Shieldred 2 under the Leyline Binding. Cheapest chips. And only the 1 Blood Tithe Harvester now with the 2 blood tokens. That's not going to kill the shark.
Sorry, did you say cheapest chips?
Chips, yeah.
Okay. Never heard that expression.
Cheapest chips.
Huh.
It's because you're American.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's a British/Australian/South African thing.
I like it.
You call them fries.
Okay.
Or crisps. No, you don't call them crisps. I don't know.
I'm learning.
You're learning.
I'm learning.
Okay. I'll teach you swear words next. Maybe not on air, though.
Yeah, not on air is probably a good idea. All right, Leyline Binding there with dealing with the Shield Red here means just Alan's not going to be gaining any life here. And at this point, it's not like Alan's leaving in a lot of wraps or anything.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man, that was so cool. Nico knew exactly, I think, what Alan had in mind, and he's just like, yeah, that's fine. Keep going. Keep doing your thing. And then bam, absolutely just wrecks everything that Alan Wu had going there. So
Yeah, the patience there at the end from Nico, just passing the turn, having 5 mana open, to be able to deal with that reflection. And then Shieldred was just a really incredible patient
super
play.
sweet, yeah.
And what a sweet deck. I'm looking forward to seeing more of that style of domain deck.
Definitely. The Wandering Emperor is just an excellent card, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, 4 mana open? You're always suspicious when there's 2 white pips, you know. Previously, it was Settle the Wreckage, and now it's just like Wandering Emperor. Don't tap your things.
Yeah, absolutely. A really powerful one.
Yeah, pretty good card. What's it got, like 3 cards now? The Wandering Emperor? 3 Planeswalkers? I don't know. There's a lot of them.
A lot of them.
That one is very good indeed.
And so was that Chrome Hose Seed Shark. Wow, I want to see more of that card for sure. We've seen it in like Jeskai control lists a little bit before, but kind of the first time we've seen it in the domain list. So really innovative there from Nico.
Yeah, plenty more Magic, friends. Lots to see on the other side of this break, so don't go anywhere.